Hey, good afternoon. It's Coach Blue for you. Just doing a follow up in reference to the last two videos were about Black lives really don't matter and stay woke, Black man, you're a menace to society. Over the last day or two, had just listening and watching some more historical data or events um, that I want to refer everybody to, so you can read and listen and see what the message was 52 to 55 years ago and how it compares to today. James Baldwin did a speech in 1965 in Cambridge University in England, and it was called James Baldwin's Speech, Black Lives Matter, Speech 1965. It's on YouTube. I ask that you guys go and check it out as well. But his message then is exactly, if you could not see it, you could only hear it, uh, you would think that message is happening right now today. It is exactly the same. And the sad part is, 55 years ago, there's no difference. There's no difference in the tone of America. There's no difference in the tone of what's happening. There's no difference in the tone of the messages. And not to say that I'm wise, because I'm definitely not, but the message that I've been sharing over the last few days is the same message that he's sharing in his message 55 years ago. 55. 65 was the year I was born. So 55 years ago is the same message from James Baldwin. Also, there's another one from James Baldwin in reference to 1968. The magnificent James Baldwin explains the riots of 1968. And it explains some of the mentality of the reason we're having rioting here and what's going on with that. It's a shorter video. The first one's 24 minutes, I believe. This one's about 3 to 4 minutes. But I encourage you to read it, not read it, to listen to it, to hear it. Close your eyes and then see what's different than that message then versus the message now and what's happening now. There's no line. You can't tell. You cannot tell any difference. Last thing, real brief, is that everyone talks about Malcolm X and his famous line by any means necessary, and everybody, not everybody, the majority of folks in their mentality about when they hear that it's on some type of negative, destructive, riotous, revolutionary tip about what that statement means. Malcolm X wasn't some militant, reckless person. He People have painted that picture of him, especially they painted that picture before, when he was a member of Nation of Islam, before he became so-called a true Muslim, and his whole perspective on race or human race changed, and his whole message changed at that point when he removed himself from the Nation of Islam. But I encourage you to go listen to his by any means necessary speech. It's about an hour long, and listen to his message and what he's really talking about and what he's asking for as a way of resolution or a way of reform or a way of to uh, to change what is happening. Those same practices would work today if we would hear it. There's nothing in there about what I guess what I want to clarify by any means necessary is it's truly that by any means necessary, which means thinking outside the box, not being normal or not being uh, predictable about what it would be. And the predictable part about any means necessary is the most connotative assumption about it. It's about being violent, reckless, um, having that type of demeanor or exposure and whatnot. And that's not what it means at all. All he is saying is take whatever resources you have, whatever options you have, whatever you can, whoever you can partner with, utilize to help support your cause, either locally or more importantly, from his point of perspective, worldwide. You utilize it and put that into action to help you get your message across, to help you achieve what you're trying to achieve. So it's we take it on a very one-dimensional level of what that statement means, but it's very four, maybe five dimension and the meaning of it and what he's trying to say in his message. But I encourage you, James Baldwin's Black Lives Matter speech, 1965. Listen to it. Malcolm's X, by any means necessary. The whole speech was, like I said, about an hour and 17 minutes or so, about an hour and 24 minutes. Is to maybe break it up in pieces. An hour and 24 minutes is too long for you to sit. But listen to the message. Listen to what he's saying. Um, Listen to what he's proposing. Hear what he's saying. Get a different thought pattern. Change your thinking. And that's what all this is about. It's about changing your thought pattern. It's changing and hearing something different or getting a different perspective. we keep hearing or going by what we believe or what we think, we basically get what we've always got. And we often believe a lot of the things that were effective in the 60s or would be ineffective now. And I've made some of those statements myself. But the philosophy or getting deeper into what they really meant, in addition to not just seen as one dimensional from when their perspective was, um, has a lot of insight or wisdom into where we should be today. So I encourage those three. I encourage that. I encourage you. Be different. Think different. Most of all, gain understanding. Peace.